on today's show.
It's time to lock in our all-star starters. We debate which guards should start in the East and who deserves that final front court spot out West.
In Up Down, will LA survive without CP3? Should Mini trade Rubio? And what in the world happened at the Warriors' groundbreaking ceremony?
And LeBron says the Cavs need a backup point guard. Is Nate Robb the man for the job?
It's Wednesday, January 18th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to The Starters. Whether you're listening to the podcast, joining us live right now on NBA TV, or later on YouTube, we're very happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tass Mellis.
I haven't opened Instagram in an hour.
To his right, the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, that's Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lily, and last, certainly not least, over there, it's the bearded one, it's Trey Kirby.
Hey,
Whoa, TK, what do you got, man?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at #TheStarters. And if you've watched NBA TV or maybe even Inside the NBA lately, you might have seen some sexy new promo images of your boys.
Our buddies Skeets, Taz, Lee, and Trey are the starters. Watch as they break down what's going on in the NBA each weeknight.
They did a fashion shoot for that?
Yeah, so as soon as we got those pictures, as you might imagine, we blasted them to all of our various social media platforms, and y'all let us have it. Most people went the music route, like LeBronosaurus Rex on Twitter, who said, "You guys look like a boy band. T-Curb, J.E., Taz, and Triple L. Ladies lovely." Or Jonah Peck on Facebook, who simply said, "Motown Philly's back again, not bad." But some saw the danger, like JSA Beller on Instagram, who said, "Better hope the R&B album curse isn't real. Otherwise, you can look forward to a massive L soon," which is funny, because Austin Leak tweeted, "Be careful. We all know how this ended," along with a picture of the Pacers team that famously fell apart after their grown and sexy photo shoot. My favorite zinger came from Instagram, from Alex Marquez, who said, "When I saw this last night, I was like, damn, y'all look like you'd kill in 4-on-4 Rec League." Then I saw Lee and thought, "Mismatch!" in my head.
Ouch.
Yeah, well, wait till you see him on the cricket pitch. But we want you to go roast us on Twitter, so hop on over there and go kill us. Let us know, what do we look like? Send us your best zingers to #TheStarters, and you can make fun of us a little bit later.
All right, let's hear it. We got an action-packed show tonight. We got to discuss Chris Paul's injury and what it means to the Clippers' playoff chances. Tough loss for them. And Tass and I are going to go head-to-head in another round of Crossfire. But we begin with a little What You Got All-Star Starters edition. Trey, you got a few questions regarding potential 2017 NBA All-Star Game starters.
Yeah, and you see right here, these are our Eastern Conference All-Star starters. We've got 3 locks in the front court with LeBron, Giannis, and Jimmy Butler, but the guards are the hard part, and we're going to start north of the wall, where both Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan have been great for Toronto all season long. But who's the more deserving Raptor, Lowry or DeRozan? What you got?
I think it's Kyle Lowry. DeMar DeRozan does what he does very, very well, but Lowry does more across the board. DeRozan scores 6 more points a game than Lowry, but Lowry has double the amount of assists. He's the better defender, and I think his greatness actually makes DeMar better because Lowry shoots so many threes. He's up there in terms of threes per game, and he almost hits half of them, and half of his shots are 3 points. So that gives DeMar the space that he needs.
Sure.
Kyle is shooting at an incredible rate, 44.4% from three-point line. So I think that helps DeMar, and Lowry just does more across the board.
Yeah, I hate the word deserving because they're both 2-time All-Stars who are playing even better this year. So they're both deserving, and they're going to both be in the All-Star game. Who's more important to the Raptors? I agree with you. I think it's Kyle Lowry. The numbers are bonkers. The best way to wrap your head around Kyle Lowry's season so far is this. He's about 22, 7, and 5. Tass already pointed out the three-point shooting, 44%. He's 48% from the floor and 83% from the line. Those numbers are near identical to Steph Curry's first MVP season. That's how great they are. They're really unbelievable. He's on one of the best teams in the East. They're both great, but I give the edge to Lowry as well.
Yeah, I feel bad for DeMar because he's going to be left out of the starting lineup, I think, because he's had an unbelievable season. And a lot of people question whether or not last season he'd peaked and was that the best we're going to see. And this year he has taken his game to another level.
No doubt.
And he deserves that recognition, which he will get. It's just the starter is a little bit more of a cherry on the cake rather than just being in the All-Star game. So it's tough, but I agree. I go with Kyle Lowry, but DeMar has just been incredible. And you've seen a couple of those performances where DeMar has really taken over at the end of the game. And, you know, his game is not a sexy game as far as the mid-range. Not a lot of guys play it. He plays it probably better than anyone else in the league. So he's been fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know how he could be better, but Kyle Lowry, I think, improved his three-point shooting to help out DeMar because DeMar doesn't shoot the three-point
Right,
shot.
right,
He takes
interesting.
6% of his shots inside the arc, or outside the arc, I should say, 94 inside the arc. So Lowry takes it outside there to give him his space that he needs, and then he goes one-on-one, two-on-two with a pick and roll and makes it happen.
And he feels so confident against pretty much any defender right now, DeMar, that he can get to his spot. And that's incredible growth from him.
Well, this is a what you got. So Trey has the ultimate answer. Is it Lowry or DeRozan is the more deserving Raptor?
Oh, you guys were so close. It's actually DeMar DeRozan.
wow.
He's in the midst of the best scoring season in Raptors history. He's averaging more points than Vince Carter ever did as a Raptor, than Chris Bosh ever did as a Raptor. He's number one in usage rate. He's got a higher PER than Kyle Lowry. He's the number one option on the best scoring
Okay,
team
well,
in
he's got a higher
basketball.
PER. Well, Lowry has a higher win shares, net rating, offensive rating.
I
We
don't
go
know
on
what
and on
those
and on.
are, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
come
I
on.
hope Michael Rappaport's not watching.
Look, I think you just
Hell, John Schumann's not watching. That guy got so mad when I picked DeRozan.
just eye test. So if you took DeRozan off the Raptors, Lowry is going to keep that team humming along. He's on some of the best offensive lines with the bench guys in the league. I
Playing
think
against bench
he's
guys.
just more important. Oh, well, I think
yeah.
it's Lowry. I think it's Lowry. All right, next one.
Anyways, besides the Raptors, it's been a great season for guards in the East. So who's your final guard in the East?
Oh.
Kyrie Irving, Isaiah Thomas, Kemba Walker, or John Wall? What you got?
This is great.
Now this is where it gets difficult, in my opinion.
I think they all make the team, but as far as the starters go,
Yeah.
it came down to Isaiah Thomas and John Wall for me. John Wall, I think, does more for his team. Isaiah Thomas scores more than John Wall, but obviously John Wall's in double-digit in assists. And I think the defense, out of all these guys we're talking about, John Wall is incredible on the defensive end. He doesn't have, unlike Isaiah Thomas, who has a Marcus Smart, Avery Bradley around him, he doesn't have that. He has to do it himself. He leads the league in assists. I go with him. I think he just has to do more for his team, even though, yeah, he scores 5 less points a game. It doesn't matter to me because the assists are, 4 more per game. The steals are far higher. He is just an all-around better talent than Isaiah Thomas, who is the fourth quarter assassin.
He's been great, John Wall, and he did get off to a slow start. The Wizards did too, and he's been excellent of late. I went with Kyrie Irving, though, because I think his season is being overlooked simply because he plays with LeBron James. The numbers are great. 24 and 6 a game. The shooting is unbelievable. He's basically at 50, 40, 90. Not quite there, but he's not far off. Against those other teams, Charlotte, Toronto, Washington, and Boston, the other guards he's going up against, 8-0, and he steps up against those. You look at his numbers in those games, he is fantastic. Also, the defense is not as great as John Wall. I'll give you that. But again, his defense gets overlooked as far as how bad he is. He had this reputation as a bad defender, and people say he hasn't improved, and they don't give him any credit at all. Offensively, he's fantastic. His team's winning. I think he deserves it.
Yeah, I think it really does come down. You said it came down for you to IT and Wall. I went with Isaiah Thomas because it's really how much do you really care about defensively with these guys? Because there's no doubt Wall is a step above all of them, especially Isaiah Thomas. But I can't overlook a guy that's 5'9", who has scored at least 15 points
Yeah,
in the
you can.
fourth
You can
quarter
overlook him. You're
8
taller
times.
than 5'9".
Well, yeah, I'm just over 5'9", I guess, closer to 5'11". But 28 points per game. 28
Questionable.
points per game, guys. I mean, we talked about it on yesterday's show. It's unbelievable, and I've said this before. You've got to go watch this guy play live. It's unreal. He's just a treat to watch play live in the way he's taking over games. And his team is better. His team is better than the Wizards as well, which when you get down to the nitty-gritty, that sort of comes into consideration for me. So I go IT. Tass has got Wall. Lee's going with Kyrie Irving, playing the Mo Williams with LeBron. What's the answer?
Nah, I'm going with Isaiah Thomas.
right.
I was a Kemba Walker voter, but if you're averaging 28 points per game, you should start the All-Star game just like DeMar DeRozan is.
So there's the starters, East All-Star starters. The difference is at the guard positions. We agree on the front court there. But let's, I believe we have one question when it comes to the Western Conference team.
Yeah.
How sexy is our photo shoot there?
Things are a bit easier in the Western Conference. We got 4 locks with MVP favorites. James Harden and Russell Westbrook as our guards, while Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard hold down spots by virtue of being the best players on the 2 best teams in the West in the front court. But that final West front court spot's pretty tough. There are a few candidates, so tell me who's getting that final spot. Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins, Draymond Green, or Marc Gasol? What you got?
Wait. Where's Hayward and Gobert in the mix? I just
man,
wanna
we only
throw
got
that.
4
I wanna make
slots,
I want to
okay?
make it even more complicated. I think it's Anthony Davis.
I agree.
I
You do?
agree.
Yeah,
I
wow.
agree.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers are fantastic for him, and the wins are starting to come. He got off to a terrible start. They were 0-8. Since then, 16 and 18. Not too bad.
But
And-
he didn't get off to a terrible start.
No, he didn't. He's
His
been
team
putting
did.
up incredible numbers.
From game one.
And it really comes down to opinion of how much weight you put into wins. Some of us put more into it than others. And if his team was, say, 6 and 35 or whatever, I probably wouldn't put him into the team. But his team is now starting to win and starting to improve. They're not far out of the playoffs.
All right, so we all say Anthony Davis. Trey, what says you?
Yeah, we literally all say Anthony.
Wow, there it is.
Winning doesn't matter for the All-Star game. Just get those points.
Well, I mean, yeah, look, Cousins' numbers very, very similar to AD, but they're both been unreal. They're all going to make it eventually in the end. There's our starters for the West All-Star starters. I mean, it's a little confusing when we're called the starters, isn't it?
Yeah, no doubt.
Westbrook, Harden, Durant, Leonard, and Anthony Davis. But look, we officially find out on Thursday. Got an hour pregame selection show there on TNT before the doubleheader tips between the Wizards, Knicks, and Wolves Clippers. So we'll find out soon enough, and then guess what? We get to do it all over again with the reserves. That'll be fun. All right, quick break. When we come back, we got to discuss Chris Paul's latest injury and the impact it could have on the Clippers' playoff chances. Don't go anywhere. Back with the starters into the up-down report, where we figure out where the four of us stand on some hot-button NBA topics. Ask you to do the same on Twitter. Hashtag the starters. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Our first one, we learned yesterday that Clippers point guard Chris Paul will undergo surgery to repair a torn ligament in his left thumb and is expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks. CP3 suffered the injury on Monday night after jamming his thumb there against Westbrook's body. Obviously a tough loss for LA. Unbelievable point guard. But are you guys up or down on the Clippers still making the playoffs despite this injury? Everybody says
Nice.
no problem.
I like the optimism here.
Yeah, well, a lot of it is to do with the fact that they're 10 and a half games up on 8th place.
Yeah.
So they're probably not going to drop out unless they completely implode. Hopefully Blake Griffin is back for them soon. Not sure exactly of his timetable right now, but the Clippers are just a better team than a lot of those teams still battling for that 8th spot.
Yeah, there's going to be an under 500 team that makes the playoffs in the Western Conference. To get to 36 wins, which is the worst playoff team in the past 20 years, the Clippers need to win 12 games for the rest of the season, which is certainly doable. It's going to be tough now. It'll be a lot easier once Blake Griffin gets back, which hopefully he comes back soon. But I'm pretty confident they can play, 30% basketball for the rest of the way.
Yeah, their future is sort of in question, though, because making their first conference finals just got a heck of a lot tougher. Because if they drop to 5th or 6th, they probably have to win 2 series on the road to make a conference finals. Another year where they don't make the conference finals, Chris Paul and Blake Griffin could become free agents. Does that factor into their free agency decision? I think that's a legitimate question.
True. To look on the bright side of it, the glass half full type thing here, at least you maybe drop out of the 4 or 5 spot, which would mean a second round battle against the Warriors.
Strategic
so
injuries.
at least you're just on the other side of the bracket. You're right. You
guess.
still got to win road
You
series.
still got to beat the Rockets or the Spurs.
Yeah, look, they've done it before, and I've said this before too. Get these injuries out of the way now. Better for Blake Griffin and Chris Paul to be injured now, here in coming up to February and late January, than in April or May.
Definitely.
So
in a
you're
playoff
guaranteeing
series.
there's a clean bill of health.
Well, I'm just saying I'd rather them be injured now than when they get to the playoffs. But it's a tough loss.
Yeah, it is a tough loss because injuries just seem to keep on happening to this team.
And that is such a weird fluke
sure.
I
injury.
don't know
Like,
how we did that one.
yeah,
I mean, if he was wearing a thumb like this, it would make sense, but
Yeah.
otherwise, no way.
Maybe
Yeah,
you
you're
should
fine.
when he comes back.
All right, moving on here, guys. The Wolves are actively shopping point guard Ricky Rubio in trade proposals, according to a report from Woj at Yahoo Sports. Mini has attached Rubio to multiple offers with Shabazz Muhammad, apparently, to several teams. No bites, obviously, as of yet. But here we go with these Rubio trade rumors once again. Are you guys up or down on the Wolves even just trying to trade Ricky Rubio?
I think it's time.
Everybody, thumbs up.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a move-on fast guy, and this has been 6 years with Ricky Rubio, and he's been pretty much the same player the whole time. You've got another lottery pick point guard in Chris Dunn who's ready to play. Give him some minutes and just give him a chance to try and lead this team.
guess. I'm not sure where Ricky Rubio is going to go because he's a bit like Rondo, that same problem. He just can't shoot. And
Well, but that's if he gets in the right situation where Rondo, obviously with Garnett and Paul Pierce and
for
Ray
sure, yeah.
Allen, if he just has to play defense and be
Yeah.
a playmaker, then it would work. But
And
you're
he's
right, he can't shoot. So.
He's a great playmaker. And also like Jason Kidd at the end of his career, remember, all he could really do is knock down threes. But he could be relied on to do
Yeah.
that. Right now with Rubio, you just look at him and just think he just doesn't have any real go-to shot at all in his arsenal.
I think the Orlando Magic are looking for a point guard. Serge Ibaka is a perfect fit for the Minnesota Timberwolves, a forward who can shoot and spread the floor and a defender that they desperately need. If you think you can make Ricky Rubio into a player, I think that's a good match.
Have you put it in the trade machine?
I have not put it in the trade machine.
he's
Listen,
only-
man, I'm thinking ahead. I'm
Rubio's-
thinking ahead. I understand there aren't a lot of teams that need a starting point guard. Sacramento Kings, maybe a team, but you need two teams to tango. And I think the Magic, it kind of makes sense because they've been looking for a guy for a long time.
It's weird that Rubio's only 26 still. Rubio has been around for absolutely forever because of his international career and playing there. But 24% three-point shooter. Worst of his career.
Yeah,
That's just nuts. I mean, you'd think by this point that maybe he would add that shot, but I don't think it's ever going to come.
Any shot, though, just any sort of shot that he can go and get to his spot.
He's
and
not
knock it
bad
in.
off the dribble in mid-range. That he can knock down, but he can't finish inside at all, and he can't hit the three. So that's tough. All right, final one here, guys. Construction for the Warriors' new arena in San Francisco's Mission Bay is officially underway. The project broke ground yesterday in a spectacle that featured this, like a synchronized backhoe dancing. The Chase Center, scheduled to open for the 2019-20 NBA season. Are you up or down on the Warriors' groundbreaking ceremony?
Yeah, I liked it.
Seems like a super inefficient way to build an arena. There are so many safety violations there. Those guys were wearing hard hats, but they're not going to stay on if you're flipping over all the time.
I don't mind it because these things are usually so boring and so cliche, where the guys in the suits just put on the hard hat, have the corny photo with the shovel.
Yeah.
You'll remember this, won't we?
Yeah, for sure. Something Ramona Shelburne of ESPN kind of hit home with me today. The Oracle Arena is a pretty unique stadium. It's not pretentious. And when you build a new stadium, it's quite often pretentious and lacks
That isn't?
That feels very pretentious.
No, it feels
you
like it's
kidding me?
not taking itself seriously.
Oh, poking fun at that.
Yeah, there's something about Oracle Arena. We're lucky enough to have gone the last few years where you're bumping into the families of players. Everybody's sort of sharing the same hallways. This feels like they may not be taking themselves seriously like a new arena always is.
It's tough not to feel bad for the people of Oakland, though, in that area. They're losing their team, and it's not going that far. It's going to San Fran. You got to feel a team fan base that is stuck by that team that was horrible for a very long time. They still came out and bought all the jerseys, so tough loss. All right, coming up, Tess and I go head to head in a heated round of Crossfire. Don't win it.
Welcome to Crossfire. This is how it works. Trey will give Skeets and me 3 topics. We'll debate each one. Then Trey will declare a winner. Trey, what's our first topic?
All right, round one. For weeks now, LeBron James has been saying the Cavs need a new backup point guard, and Nate Robinson has even thrown his hat in the ring since the NFL did not pan out. Guys, tell me, which backup point guard should the Cavs sign? Here we go.
Mario Chalmers, I think, is the perfect answer. Reunite with LeBron James. They went to 4 finals together, won 2 titles together.
Does he want to get yelled at from LeBron again?
Yeah, instead of being a free agent. And this guy isn't over the hill. Last year when he was with the Grizzlies, he had some monster games, 29, 25, and 23-point performances. And at this point of the season, you can't bring in somebody extremely fresh. You need some familiarity, and that is exactly what Chalmers and LeBron have.
I don't think they need a guy like Chalmers or Jarrett Jack or even Norris Cole. All 3 of those guys coming off of injuries too, so are they even 100%? I think you're fine with Kay Felder, your 21-year-old rookie point guard. I think you go the route, hear me out. You go the route of Popovich, okay? You give Felder some quality minutes now, you coach him up, and maybe he surprises you with some good minutes in the playoffs. So all you're looking for come playoff time is 8, 9, maybe 10 minutes a game, if that, because LeBron will be mainly playing point guard when Kyrie's not in the playoffs. So I just go with Felder. I don't think you need any of these guys, even a Rondo or Darren Williams if you could make a move. Just stick with Felder.
LeBron's asking for a vet. What LeBron wants, LeBron gets.
I know, you're probably right. It'll be Chalmers so he can yell at him.
Yeah, probably true. Round 2 coming up. According to reports, several teams will have fairly bold redesigns next season when Nike takes over as the official outfitter of the NBA. Guys, tell me which team needs a uniform upgrade the most. Here we go.
I think it's a team who just last year debuted new uniforms and jerseys, and that's the Los Angeles Clippers. The LA Clippers,
You don't like Chuck the Condor?
They gotta get rid of these. Every time I see these jerseys, I think it's July. And that it's like summer league's just starting, and I have flashbacks because they look like sort of summer league practice jerseys.
They look like a volleyball team, these black ones.
Yeah, I mean, just get rid of them because you've only played 120, 130 games in these. No one's really gonna care if you get rid of them. There's no history there. So it's gotta be the Clips.
I think the Pacers uniforms don't fit who they are, don't fit their arena at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. It's an old school arena, an old school vibe, a team with a lot of history. They're too modern. these don't fit with who
Really?
they are. You got to throw it back. You've had some incredible jerseys in the past, like the FloJo jerseys.
Yep.
Just go to these full time. Or if you don't want those, second pick, the pinstripes.
Stripes.
Those would be
pajamas.
extremely unique in today's NBA, and they're better than the other ones. They don't fit with Bankers Life Fieldhouse, which is an incredible arena. Go throw them back.
All right.
Couple of good ones right there. Round 3 coming up. News broke yesterday that Blake Griffin will be co-producing a remake of one of the greatest basketball movies of all time, White Men Can't Jump. Looking back to the 1992 original, who is the NBA's Billy Hoyle and Sidney Dean? Here we go.
That unusual friendship, I think it's Kevin Love and J.R. Smith. Starting with Billy Hoyle, Kevin Love can pull that off. When he came into the league, he didn't look like a baller.
Yep.
He was pleasantly pumped. He was rotund. Some would call him a fatso even. But he does the little things that win ball games. He can score, obviously. He can make beautiful passes. And J.R. Smith, he'll be the more flamboyant Sidney Dean.
Yep.
He'll do the chatting, the talking, the griping, the scoring as well. He may get the limelight, but Kevin Love, he does all those gluey things. I think that's a perfect combo.
I don't mind that one, but I think the Billy and Sidney of the NBA might be Steph Curry and Draymond Green. All right, so Steph is playing the role of Billy because he doesn't, like you said, sort of with Kevin Love, he doesn't look like the most intimidating player you've ever seen, but he's a stone cold assassin, of course. Draymond, he would be Sidney. Talented, maybe a little too arrogant, but obviously never stops talking. That makes sense. And some people are going to say, whoa, whoa, whoa. Steph Curry's not white.
Yeah,
Do you need a white guy to be Billy?
It's called White Man Can't
No,
Jump.
no. First off, I don't see color. Second of all, Billy
Obviously you don't,
Billy
because you think
Hoyle,
Steph is white.
his whole
He's not.
thing was always he's in the zone. And
Your
that's Steph
winner
Curry.
today, Yes! Hey man, he dropped the fatso.
He did drop the fat, so at least Lee didn't help him out. Wait, good battle. All right, gotta take one more break. When we come back, Lilies. Very solid play. Don't go anywhere. We did a photo shoot. We took this shot. We asked you, what do we look like? Trey, you got to feel the best answers.
Yeah, some very funny answers. This one comes from Shane, who says you look like a group of IKEA furniture designers. Josh says the stars of the new reality show Basketball Husbands, whose wives are WNBA stars. I'd watch it. And the best music tweet came from Josh, who says this looks like the album cover to the hardest pop Christian group the world has ever seen.
All right. Great tweets. Tonight's pick and play, it's the Hawks, and the Pistons. All of us taking the road. Hawks, who've been playing well as of late. Lee, where are we going for VSB?
Out to Los Angeles for a tidy play here from the Nuggets. You think it's a layup here, but it's not. It's over there to Kenneth Reed. He drops it in. That's what I call a very solid play.
All right, Lee, we got a lot of fan signs coming in. Let's get to a couple.
Rye from Utah with the first one there. Nice job there. Tom at the London game last week. There's still more pouring in from that London game. Here's one of them. Amanda and her friend from the Wizards and Sixers game.
Nice.
Kevin was courtside in Toronto. Great shot there. Joy down at the Fortress with a sign so good even Skeets likes it.
I did.
Also from the Fortress, Joshua Kidd says happy birthday to his little sister. Marcos was in Mexico City as well. We got him from all over the world right now. They're great.
We've got more. We'll show them to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, all people care about are your picks, not why you picked them.
Brace the night, people.